He's one of the most high-profile, richest Russians to publicly condemn the Ukraine war. The billionaire who founded the Tinkoff Bank, one of Russia's biggest lenders, now renouncing his Russian citizenship, a major slap to the Kremlin's face. He's even posted the termination document online, along with scathing criticism of the Russian state. I can't and won't be associated with a fascist country, Tinkoff wrote on his Instagram page. A country that started a war with their peaceful neighbours. And he went even further, calling on other wealthy Russians to also leave the country behind. I hope more prominent Russian businessmen will follow me, Tinkoff writes, so it weakens Putin's regime and his economy and puts him eventually towards defeat. The post was quickly deleted, which Tinkoff blames on Kremlin trolls. It's not the first time Tinkoff has publicly criticised Putin and his Ukrainian conflict. But these almost daily scenes of violence and its horrors seem to have galvanised the billionaire. Back in May, Tinkoff, who's suffering from cancer, spoke of how his own fight for survival made it impossible to stay silent in the face of so much killing.
You see kids, women, people dying for nothing, being murdered by someone. I mean, the Russian army is killing them for nothing. You can die from cancer, but why should you die from a bomb just because you live in Ukraine? This is messed up, especially in the 21st century.
There's a way to try and repay that debt, Mr. Deripaska. Of course, there have been other prominent Russian billionaires who've criticised the Ukraine war. Even Oleg Deripaska, a metals magnate known to be close to Putin, has called it a colossal mistake, though stopping short of blaming the Kremlin.
Get lost, please.
And earlier this month, another billionaire investor, Yuri Milner, said he renounced his Russian passport too. Tinkoff, seen here in London, where despite British sanctions, he still spends much of his time, says he only ever met Putin once for a beer more than 20 years ago. But he says he hates Putin's Russia and is now severing himself from it altogether over what he calls Putin's crazy war.
So, Matthew, amazing to see this. I mean, does Tinkoff's renunciation now mean that Putin is losing support among Russia's business tycoons, right? I mean, the significance of this is that after everything we've seen, he's choosing to do this now.
It's got a point in that direction. I think you have to remember that Oleg Tinkoff is a bit of a unique case. He's sold his businesses already in Russia. He's got leukemia, and so he may feel he's got nothing to lose. But of course, there are many, many other business people in the country that have a lot to lose. Speaking out like that would probably mean the end of your business. It could mean jail. It could mean danger for your family. So even if they agree with what Oleg Tinkoff has to say, they're probably going to keep their mouths shut. Having said that, the fact that anyone's speaking out at all, and there are several high-profile business people, indicates the economic impact that this war is having on Russia.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, his circumstances are specific to him, but still, it's a courageous and brave act, right? That he's doing this. All right, Matthew Chance, thank you very much. You know, the context here is that, you've got this disarray among Putin's troops. And Evgeny Prigozhin, that prominent Putin ally who is leader of the Wagner Group, that brutal private army, has been gaining more influence every day, raising many questions. Out front now, Andrei Soldatov. He is the Russian investigative journalist who specializes in Russia's intelligence services we've been speaking to throughout this war. He is also the author of The Compatriots, the Russian exiles who fought against the Kremlin. And obviously, Andrei, you know so much about Tinkoff, people like him. Prigozhin is a crucial character right now in trying to understand what he means to this war. He's now urging Russia's prosecutor general to shut down YouTube. He says that it's undermining Russia. And look, when you're coming out and you're the leader of the brutal Wagner Group, right, this mercenary group, you're not just being a military leader if you're talking about shutting down YouTube. What do you think is happening here with Prigozhin, and why is he becoming so much more emboldened?
Well, Prigozhin is extremely ambitious, and now it seems that he's getting ambitious politically. He's really good at identifying the weak spots the Kremlin has. And 2 weeks ago, it was mostly about the military. And Prigozhin criticized the military openly. And he got some changes. So the chain of command in the military was changed, and the Russian troops got a new commander. And now he is identifying that the Kremlin is losing information control, especially on the internet. YouTube is one of services which is still not blocked in the country, available for the Russians, and used widely for watching the news about what is going on in Ukraine. So now he's attacking this weak spot to make himself visible and useful for Putin.
And when you say visible and useful for Putin, Prigozhin yesterday said the children of Russia's elite should be mobilized, right? He has confronted Putin over the war, perhaps to tell Putin to up the ante, right? That would fit with telling him that the elite should be mobilized. He also the other day praised Zelensky's leadership, saying that he should not be underestimated. So what do you think his goals are? Does he want to run Russia's military? Are his ambitions larger than that? And how does all of this combination of things that he's doing actually endear him to Putin?
Well, I think, first of all, he's not stupid. He understands his limits. He never had any military training. He spent some time in jail, but he never did anything in the Russian military. He ran this military company, but his ambitions, I think, is not to become a Minister of Defense, but maybe a place in the Russian Security Council, because that is where you have political decisions taken. That is where you have real power. So to become someone like Deputy Secretary of Security, that would fit him.